So I want to add to the live stream that I did today because I'm just reading some of the comments and I'm just done reading them because a lot of you just want to be defeated, and that's fine. That's your choice. But you're talking to a girl that has been on both sides. I've been on the non-conventionally attractive side, and I am now on the conventionally attractive side. There is a reason behind why I said if you make this about men, you're going to be disappointed. A lot of you are delusional and you think that if you were just conventionally attractive that you will get treated better by men. Men who are not shit. And let me be clear about what that is and what that looks like. A man that treats a woman differently simply because of her appearance is a man that is not shit. A man that treats you differently just because you don't look a certain way is a man that is not shit. So you believe, based off of these men, that you're going to get better treatment magically because now you fit the standard? That is delusional. These men don't have the character to treat you a certain way. And when it comes to being conventionally unattractive, they don't feel like they have to hide it. We see attractive women get dogged out all the time. You think, oh, men only cheat on women that are unattractive? You think men only treat women who are unattractive bad? You think that unattractive women are the only women that get poor treatment from men? So a lot of you feel like I missed the mark, but no, I didn't miss the mark because I've been on both sides of the coin. I've been on heads and tails, and I'm telling you that if that man doesn't have good character, he's not going to treat you better. He's not. Doesn't matter if you're attractive or if you're conventionally unattractive. And if you marry a man like that, and if you choose to have his kids and your body changes, your physical appearance change, that's a nightmare. That's a recipe for disaster because he's shallow. And this is the measuring stick that women want to live by? Why? This is what I'm not understanding. And then another thing too is women hyper focus and fixate on pretty girl privilege. And that's it. And they actually believe that there are no other privileges out here that you can exercise and use to your advantage. Some of you are smart as hell. Some of you are extremely smart, but the only privilege that you want to focus on is pretty girl privilege. The only thing that you want to focus on is the privilege that you don't have. And as a black woman, right, me being a black woman, there are privileges that I don't have, and then there are privileges that I do have. I focus on the privileges that I do have access to. And I use them to my benefit, and I feel like all women should. But if your only focus is pretty girl privilege, and you don't focus on how being smart is a privilege, being analytical is a privilege, being intelligent is a privilege, being educated is a privilege, being creative is a privilege, being able to critically think and analyze situations and observe situations, you don't see that as a privilege? Do you not understand that people don't have the talents and skills to be able to do that? But you want to continue to focus on the privileges that you don't have and then stand and remain in a delusional state about it, like attractive women don't get treated poorly by men. And listen, this is shadow work that I had to do because I remember coming out on social media telling my story about how I was hypersexualized as a thicker girl. And there were women that were on the slimmer side. There were women that were even plus size and overweight that came out and said, I was hypersexualized too. And it wasn't that they were dismissing my experience. They were creating nuance to what I experienced. And that's what y'all are refusing to accept, that there is a lot of nuance to this conversation. And you're painting this delusional, one-sided narrative in your mind based off of what you feel like you don't have access to. So let's really think about this for a sec. You really think if you were conventionally attractive, a man that does not have good character would treat you magically better simply because now you're conventionally attractive, that is very delusional. I made my point very clear. A lot of you want to focus on things that are out of your control. Like, think about it. I can use the example of being a black woman, right? And a lot of people in society want to label me the angry black woman. I'm not angry. You don't have to accept the things that social media wants to enforce on you. It's a choice to accept the things that social media wants to enforce on you. And this is not me dismissing your experience, because I have the experience of how extremely different society treated me as an overweight black woman in society, how friends treated me as the overweight funny friend in the friend group. I have those experiences, but I don't have to accept them though. And I don't also, because I have the experience on being on both sides, I know for a fact that it doesn't matter what side you choose. If the man has poor character, if the crowd of people that you're hanging around are shallow, that is who they are. That is who they're going to be. It doesn't matter if you fit their standards. It doesn't matter if you dress the way that they want you to dress or require you to dress. It doesn't matter if you show up in the way that they want you to show up as. It's never going to be enough. This goes back to the saying of damned if you do and damned if you don't. People are always going to have something to say. People are always, it doesn't matter. You could be damn near perfect. You can be the most beautiful woman in the world and people are still going to have something to say about you. So what a lot of you do not want to accept with this conversation is nuance. Duality is not, we speak on, duality is not the space for conflict. It's just a conversation. And one thing that I had to learn, like I said, when I gave my truth and my story about being hypersexualized, I had to accept that other women had went through the same thing. That it wasn't just me, the girl that's thick with the fat ass, that it was girls that were slim, girls that just had youth, women that were plus size, that it wasn't just me. So this conversation can go a lot of different ways, and it's just really disheartening to see women that just don't want to reflect on what I said. They just want to react and they just want to respond and not really sit with it, because there was a lot of nuance to that conversation. And it's not to dismiss that society doesn't have shallow standards. Society definitely has shallow standards. Society also has stereotypes. I'm not the stereotypes. Like, there are so many things that I don't subscribe to due to society. It doesn't resonate with me. So I always tell you that you don't have to take on the experience that people want to give you. It's a choice. You can dismiss it. You can set boundaries. You don't have to accept the things that society wants to place onto you. Because I'm not angry. Last I checked, I'm a very happy, bubbly, quirky black woman. So this conversation can go on and on and on, but this is coming from a black girl, a black woman that has been on both sides, being conventionally unattractive to conventionally attractive. And I'm telling you, the treatment is not magically different just because you become conventionally attractive. It's just you are treated in a way of servitude. Men only treat you better because it strokes their ego. You make them look better. But on the surface, they treat you like that. They give you the privilege, but underneath it, they don't really care about you like that. Which is why an attractive woman is not exempt from poor treatment from men. That is just the truth. And you will continue to see women who are attractive and unattractive on your timeline dealing with deceit, betrayal, poor treatment, abuse, neglect, SA on your timeline. It's not just unattractive women, overweight women. It's not just that. I'm sorry. That's just not the truth.